In this video, we are going to learn about JavaScript statements. By watching this, you will gain a deeper understanding of how to effectively use JavaScript statements in your code. So let's start by learning what is JavaScript statement. JavaScript statements are made up of various components such as values, operators, expressions, keywords, and comments. These elements work together to form the instructions that tell the computer what to do. Now let's talk about these components one by one. First of all, we have values, and values are the most basic unit of data in JavaScript. They can be numbers, strings, or more complex types like arrays and objects. Now, to understand it better, let me show you an example. Now, here we have a variable which we can declare using this let keyword, and after this keyword, we just need to use the variable name. It could be any name, and here I am setting its name to number, and then we need to enter is equal to, and after this equal to sign we just simply need to enter the value, which in our case is 43. Now at the end of our line we just need to add this semicolon like this. Now in this example, this is the JavaScript keyword to declare a variable. This is the name of our variable, and we have this number value. We have also string values and array values. Let me show you an example of both of these. So here I am again declaring a variable using let keyword, and here I am writing the name of variable which is greeting, and then we have equal to, and at the end, and this time we are using a string value like hello world, and the string in JavaScript is represented by these double quotes, and this is the syntax of writing a string in JavaScript. This is a number value, this one is a string value. Now here we have another example. We are using our let keyword to declare variable, and after this I am writing its name just colors, and now we have a value which is of type array, and in this we have one color which is red as a string, then we have a second color which is green, and we have third color which is blue. Now we have three variables. First one has a number value, second one has a string value, and this third one has an array value. And we will talk more about numbers, variables, and these arrays later in this course. Here you just have to understand these are called values, and these are the data that we can store in our variables. And after this we have operators. Operators are symbols or words that perform operations on values. For instance, the plus operator can be used to add number, and the plus operator can also be used to concatenate strings. Let me show you an example. Here I am creating a variable, and the name of variable is sum, and after this we have two values which is 3 plus 5. Now in this statement we have two values and one operator, and we can see the output by logging this sum variable to our console. Just use console.log and then the name of variable that we want to output, and here is the result of this operation. Then we can also use plus operator to concatenate two strings. In order to do this, we just need to create a variable, and I am calling this variable combined, and then we have two strings. First string is hello, and then simply using our plus operator, and after this we have world. Now if I console.log this to check the output, you can see both of these strings are now concatenating, and both of these added like this, as you can see in our console. After this we have expression. An expression is a combination of values, operators, and variables that can be evaluated to produce a value. Expressions are the building block of JavaScript, and if I write let result is equal to 10 plus 20 multiplied by 2, this is an expression. Now after this we have keywords. Keywords are reserved words in JavaScript that have special meanings that are part of the language syntax. For instance, this let keyword is JavaScript reserved word. And we have many other JavaScript reserved words like if else, function, const, and many other that we will see in later videos. In JavaScript, keywords are considered reserved words. This means that we cannot use them as names of variable or any other identifiers in our code. Like if we use this let name as a variable, like in our examples, we are using this let keyword, which is a JavaScript reserved keyword, to create a variable. Now if we use this let keyword for a variable name, you can see we get a syntax error. Let me show you an example. Here I am using let keyword, and then for the name of our variable I am using this let keyword again, and I am setting it to 34. If I hit Ctrl plus S, you can see we are getting this syntax error, and it's saying that let is disallowed at lexically bound name. And we can see errors like this in our developer console without logging. And these errors help us to fix mistakes that we have in our code. Like here, we done a mistake by using our reserved word as our variable name, and immediately our console is complaining about this. This error also tells us where it's coming from. Like the name of the file is this script.js, and it's coming from line number 15. If we see in our code, here you can see this is our 15 line where this error is coming from. So by using our developer tools, we can check for errors and we can fix those errors in our code. And these keywords have special meaning and function within the language. So using them as variable name will lead to syntax error and unexpected behavior in our program, as we can see here. So it is important to be aware of these reserved words and choose appropriate and unique variable names to ensure the proper functioning of your JavaScript code. After this, we have comments, and comments are used to add explanations to our code. They are not executed by the computer. In JavaScript, we can use double slash for single line comment and slash star slash for multi-line comment. Like if we want to comment this line of code, we simply need to add double slash at the start of our line. We just commented this line of code, and this will not be executed during the execution. So this is how we can apply single line comment. If we want to comment multiple lines, like if we want to comment all these lines, we just need to use slash, then star, then this multiply sign. Now all the code that is after this is now commented, but we just want to comment these lines of code. So we need to add at the end this star, then slash. So this will just comment these lines of code. Now we can write any code after this. Now this is the one way of adding comment to our code, but we can also comment these lines by using a keyboard shortcut. Just select this code and then hit Ctrl plus slash to comment all these lines. But here this will use a single line comment. If you want to use multi-line, you can simply use that syntax that I showed you. And these are the fundamental elements of JavaScript that you will use extensively as you write code. Values represent data or information. Operators perform actions or calculations on these values, while expressions combine different elements to create more complex instructions. Keywords are reserved words that have special meaning in JavaScript, and commands help provide context or explanation within the code. By understanding these components, we can effectively write and communicate instructions in JavaScript. And JavaScript programs typically consist of multiple JavaScript statements. These statements are executed sequentially, following the order in which they are written. This guarantees that each statement is processed one after the other, ensuring a logical flow of execution within the program. Now you may ask why we are using this semicolon at the end of each line. Semicolons in JavaScript work like punctuation marks in a sentence, separating different instructions. For example, when we write code in JavaScript, we usually put a semicolon at the end of each line to indicate the end of an instruction, just like we had put a period at the end of a sentence. This helps JavaScript understand where one action stops and the next one begins. We can also put multiple instructions on one line if we separate them with semicolon. Like we can write like this. On one line, we can write each and every code that is inside of our file by simply separating all these with semicolon. But this is not good for readability, as you can see. If we write all this code in one line like this, we can't understand what is just happening here. So to make our code cleaner and more readable, by writing each line of our code on separate lines, and by doing this you can see our code is more readable and clean. Now let's talk about white spaces that is around our variable. Like here in this variable, we have white spaces between this operator and these two strings. And JavaScript does not really care about extra spaces. You can use spaces to make your code easier to read, which is a good habit. For example, you can add spaces around math symbols like plus or this multiply. In this code, around the plus and multiply symbol don't change how JavaScript works, but they make your code easier for you and others to understand. It's like adding spaces between words in a sentence. Now I want to talk about some rules about line length and line breaks. Many programmers find it beneficial to keep their code lines relatively short, typically less than 80 characters. This practice has several advantages, including improved readability and easier collaboration with other developers. Keeping code lines concise can enhance code maintenance and make troubleshooting more efficient. If a line of JavaScript code is too long, the best way to break it is after an operator, like this. Like here in this example, we are breaking this line after this operator. And breaking the line after the plus sign make your code tidier and easier to read. And then at last we have JavaScript code blocks. In JavaScript, these curly brackets are used to group statements together. This allows you to create block of code that contain a set of statements to be executed together. You often see this in JavaScript functions where a group of statements are enclosed in curly brackets. Like here we have a JavaScript function and we can create function using this function keyword and then its name, then these parentheses, and then we just need to use these curly brackets. Then in these curly brackets we have our JavaScript code that we want to execute. And the statements inside these curly brackets belong to this greet function. When we call the function, all these statements run one after the other. And that's all I want to show you in this video. We will learn all these concepts like functions, variables, and operators in more detail in later videos. And that's it. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to join this exciting web development journey with us. And if you have any questions or suggestions, you can put those in the comment section below. Until next time, keep coding and keep creating. I will see you in the next video.